Hi, I'm Allie with Potomac Beads. Join me in making this Aspen bracelet with the materials just listed before. And remember, there's links to PotomacBeads.com as well as PotomacBeads.eu if you need to gather up some supplies. So we are working with 2 needles, and because we're working with 2 needles, it's really nice because we can put on our clasp right away. So to begin, I have 0.006 wildfire beading thread and 2 size 12 needles on either end of about 5 feet of thread. The first thing I'm going to do is grab my cup button, which is the crystal full slipperet, or sorry, the jet full slipperet, and I'm going to add a 15, an 8/0, and a 15. The 15s are the Duracoat Galvanized Champagne, and the 8/0 is the Aluminum Silver, both in the Miyuki brand. Take your needles, one going through one way, one going through the other hole, and we're going to take it so the cup button is face down. Take that through, and those beads will just sit right in the middle of that cup button. Coming out the back then of that, I want you to add in 3 15s. On the right and on the left hand side, and then we're going to cross through an 8/0 seed bead. So get your 3 15s on the right and the left, and then pick up one of your aluminum 8/0s, going through one needle from right to left and the other from left to right. When you pull down on that, make sure that you still have 2 equal sides of thread on either side, and you'll get your cup button in there nice and at the start with that V. After you have the crossing through your button there, I want you to put 3 15s and 8, 1 15 and 1 tubelet on either side of your thread. What you're going to do then is follow it with 3 of your 15/0s and another one of your tubelets, followed by a 15 and an 8. This is going to repeat on both sides, which is actually going to bring you into the second row of the piece. To hold the thing together, what I want you to do is just a quick little ladder stitch. So to do the quick little ladder stitch here, after coming out of the 8/0 seed bead, go into the 8/0 that sits below when you turn the tubelets on top of themselves. So into the 8/0 from the cup button side out towards the tubelets. Get those nice and tight, and then go back through the 8/0 seed bead that your thread was coming out of. So you're just literally taking the thread, and I'm not pulling tight because I want you to be able to see the thread. The thread just loops around like that, and then you're going to pull nice and tight and get rid of all that extra thread. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Pulling it down. Oh, I've got a 15 on there. We're going to take that guy off. Take your needle and thread down to the 8/0 that you put on first on this side. So out away from the cup button, through that 8/0 that sits below, and then back through the 8/0 that your thread was just coming out of. And that's just a little square stitch. Pull nice and tight, and now we are ready to start with our process. So the process is now going to be a nice, simple repetition of crossing our thread and needles through. And on the right side here, I'm going to add a 15/0, and then I'm going to add my RounDuo Mini through one of the first holes and a 15/0. Pick up your needle from the other side and bring it from the left-hand side to the right-hand side through those same beads that you just added. So again, through the 15, RounDuo Mini, and then through the 15 on the other side. Since I'm already here, I'm going to go the whole way over till I'm coming out through one of my tubelet beads. So basically you're getting 2 threads through that entire thing. The thread then that's hanging out on the left after the 15 goes the whole way out to the tubelet on the other side. And there we go, nice tight pull. So on the exterior now, as I'm coming out the right hand side, I'm going to grab one of my 8/0s, one of my tubelets, a 15 and an 8, and this is on the right side, and we are going to add one more 15 and sew through that second hole of the RounDuo Mini. Kind of just puts a little bit out there on the edge. On the interior, or sorry, on the left hand side, same thing, we're going to get to the interior with the same way. An 8/0 seed bead, a tubelet, 15, 8, 15, sew through that same RounDuo Mini coming from the other side. There you go, and you can see that nice kind of rotation there. Get to the exterior, and we are going to repeat this kind of over and over, but we are going to do a little ladder stitch so that way they stay nice and tight together. The needle that's on the left-hand side, go whole way over, because each step we're going to want to make sure to end with one needle on the right and one needle on the left at the end of the tubelets. As I go over here to the left then, I'm going to pick up 3 15s. So we're going to alternate our 3 15s and our 1 8. So 3 15s get picked up on the right needle, then my tubelet bead, then my 15, and then my 8/0, and I'm going to stop. I know that I need to add another RounDuo Mini, so this is my section where I ladder stitch to the 8/0 below it. Go ahead and go from the interior towards the exterior through the 8/0 seed bead below it, back through the 8/0 that you just added, and give a nice little tight pull. If you want to, you can decorate the interior there with just a 15 on the inside. Actually, I will do that. Add a little bit of flash there. So I'm going to sew back out through. We'll add 1 15 down through the 8/0 below, again towards the exterior, up through the 8/0 towards the interior. Add a 15 and my RounDuo Mini through one of the first holes, and we'll just sit and hang out. We're going to repeat on the other side. Again, every other time you grab the tublet, you're going to switch from the 8/0 to the 15/0 just to get that gold silver switch on the exterior. I'm on the left-hand side now, 3 15s, another one of my tubelet beads, 15, 8/0. Let that all drop down towards that left-hand side. Pick up a 15, go to the 8/0 that sits below it. So from the interior towards the exterior, swing back around and come out through that 8/0 seed bead that I just added. So I know it's a little jumble there, so basically we're doing that square stitch every time we have to add a RounDuo Mini. That's going to hold the piece together. The RounDuo Mini is already on there on one side, so I'm going to just take my needle on the left and go through as well. So now we have that RounDuo Mini on there. Oops, I forgot my 15, need to add that. And then my thread and needle are just going to continue again to the outside of that tubelet bead. Once you get your thread and needle to the exterior line, anytime you're going to go through the second hole of the RounDuo Mini, you're adding an 8, a tubelet, a 15, an 8, 15, go through that second hole. Same thing on the other side, nice and easy. Adding an 8, tubelet, 15, 8, another 15, and then through that RounDuo Mini. While I'm through that RounDuo Mini then, I'm going to take the needle that's in my hand, which was the left, and go the whole way over, again, coming out the tubelet. Coming out the tubelet on the right now, I'm going to take the needle that was on the right, go through all of that I just did, and come out on the left. Again, those needles get separated right to left. Give it a tight little pull. And now here's one more time with that rotation where we're going to add 3 15s, which is going to kind of decorate the edge. 1 tubelet, a 15, an 8, 1 15 for decoration on the interior. Go through the 8/0 that sits below, out from the interior towards the exterior. Ladder stitch back through the 8/0 seed bead that your thread was just originally coming out of that you just added. Give a nice tight pull, add a 15 and a RounDuo Mini, and let it hang out. On the other side, same thing. 3 15s, 1, 2, 3. 15s get added. Go ahead and grab another tubelet bead, 15 and an 8, and a 15 through that 8/0 that's going to sit below. From the interior towards the exterior, ladder stitch back out through that 8/0 seed bead, add a 15/0 seed bead, and sew through that same RounDuo Mini that's already there, going from the left side towards the right side. give a nice tight pull, and there's your pattern. Again, now the needle's going the whole way to the outside and you get the easy add. Adding in that 1/8 on the side, tubelet, and going through that second hole. So this literally repeats the whole way along your Aspen bracelet to get those nice kind of ski slope lines going the whole way down and grabbing on and linking on with that ladder stitch. Once you have the appropriate length figured out, what you're going to want to do is coming out between two of your ladder stitch sections before you add your RounDuo Mini. That's going to make it look exactly like the other side. We're going to add 3 seed beads on either needle and then cross through an 8/0 seed bead. Instead of adding the cup button after, we're just going to add a series of 8 and 11/0 seed beads to make our loop. So again, we're going to do 3 of our 15/0s in both the right and the left side. And if your thread is getting a little short, remember that you can take thread and tie it off since you have 2 strands, and then start over with a new piece, just stretching across the whole project. Here on the other side then, again, you're gonna cross through that 8/0 to cause that nice V like the other side. Remember, it is a little bit of a stretchy bracelet. And then we're gonna go in and make our loop with our 15 and our 8/0 alternate. After we make our loop, we're gonna reinforce it twice, tie off a knot, and our bracelet is finished. Once you burn those ends off, again, you have that alternating loop that you created with the 8s and the 15s, which give a nice finish tone around that cup button. You tie off the extra threads, burn any connection that you have, and there you have the Aspen bracelet. Remember, with the Aspen bracelet, if you want to, you can also run down the sides if you want it to sit kind of more of that zigzag method. You can take your thread and needle back down to reinforce the cup button on the other side, and just add a little 1.5 millimeter crystal or a little 11/0 seed bead between those sections if you want to run the wire completely around from one side to the other. Thanks so much for watching and joining in making this fun Aspen bracelet. It's almost a loom style bracelet that's done off loom, giving that nice kind of zigzag look of those ski slopes. Remember, if you need any materials to do this herringbone and square stitch combination, you can check out the links below me to purchase from us at PotomacBeads.com as well as PotomacBeads.eu. Make sure to comment below as well. Tell us what colors you're going to make it, whether or not you did any changes or modifications, and any questions that you may have about it. Remember also to check out that little bell in the corner to subscribe to get regular updates from us here at Potomac Beads. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and enjoy your Aspen bracelet.